Good morning, everyone. I am Nadira Valia PD Ekal, currently pursuing my bachelor's education at Aligarh Muslim University, Malpuram Center. This presentation is related with my B.Ed assignments and submitted to my beloved teacher, Dr. Saeed Hayat Basha, Assistant Professor of Aligarh Muslim University, Malappuram Center. In this presentation, we are going to discuss about the rotation model of blended learning. Through this presentation, we will be discussing about the rotation model, implementation, and what are the components it have, and what are the benefits of rotation model. So we will discuss about these things in our presentation. So first of all, we are going to discuss about blended learning. What is blended learning? A blended learning is a term given to the educational practice of combining digital learning tools with more traditional classroom face-to-face teaching. Blended learning allows students to have a more thorough comprehension of the course material. Students can utilize online research options to enrich what they have learned in class. With the enormous variety of resources accessible online, they can delve further into the topics of their own. So, here comes the another question. What is rotation model? So, the rotation model is a blended learning model where students rotate between different learning modalities such as online activities, face-to-face instruction, independent study, and small group discussions. So, in this model, it is for the educator to decide how much time is spent in face-to-face learning and how much is spent online. That said, it is the idea that students rotate on a predetermined basis from one delivery method to the next that gives the rotation model of blended learning its name. So here we should understand that the blended learning that is sometimes delivered in physical environments and sometimes as part of a virtual classroom setup with less or no structure would consequently not be considered to be following the rotation model. It is important to note that the timetabled approach that makes the rotation model distinct doesn't mean that education professionals have little flexibility when adopting this approach. So I think you got an idea about what is rotation model. Then we can discuss about the characteristics of rotation model. Here there are some points as scheduled timetable for face-to-face instructions and online learning, differentiation from other blended learning models, rotating between different learning modalities on a fixed schedule, and last offers flexibility and collaborative learning opportunities in education. So here what makes the rotation model distinct from the other forms of blended learning is that it has a scheduled timetable fixed for each of the two education delivery methods. In other words, students will have a straightforwardly managed amount of time in the classroom that is complemented by a similarly managed schedule for online learning. And here the next point offers flexibility and collaborative learning opportunities. We already discussed that it is the idea that students rotate on a predetermined basis from one delivery method to the next that gives the rotation model. Blended learning that is sometimes delivered in physical environments and sometimes as part of a virtual classroom. So, these are the flexibility that is explained in here. Then we move forward. The implementation of rotation model. We already discussed that the educators have the flexibility in determining learning modes and the importance of structured learning. There will be a structured form for teaching learning process in blended learning, and there are some examples for the implementation: station rotation, lab rotation, flipped classroom, individual rotation. So, while the implementation of rotation model, there are numerous ways that rotation model can be implemented. such as using station rotation, lab rotation, flipped classroom, individual rotation. So while we are discussing about the station rotation, whereby students rotate in small groups for project work while also receiving individual tutoring, that so-called flipped classroom approach can also work within the auspices of the rotation model. For example, by working on a given subject in the classroom and then asking students to do their own online research at home before presenting their findings in class after the next allotted rotation. Again, this approach allows for a great deal of flexibility. Students can receive set video assisted learning modules from their teacher or do their own research from other online resources such as Google for Education. So we already discussed about these things. Station rotation, it involves students moving through different learning modalities on a fixed schedule, while lab rotation requires students to go to a computer lab for online learning. The flipped classroom model has students learn online material outside of class time and then apply what they have learned in class. And individual rotation allows students to customize their learning paths based on their needs. So these are the implementation of rotation model in a classroom. Next, we will move forward to components of the rotation model. As you can see in the slide, individualized online teaching. Rotation model is provides individualized online teaching for the students and encouragement of collaborative work in small groups. Integration of independent and collaborative learning, flexibility, balanced scheduling and control over students. The teachers will have a control over the students while they were doing their work. Okay. So later we will discuss about what are the benefits of the rotation model. There are some points like suited for all types of students with the basic computer skills. Among the many benefits that are associated with the rotation model of blended learning is that it is suited to all types of students who have the basic ability to work a computer or tablet. The model's primary aim is not to educate school children in IT skills but to encourage them to use their devices as a tool for learning. Somewhere they can obtain resources on their own or through modules or games that their teacher has set for them. As such, it can be used from a secondary education level right through to students undertaking postgraduate courses. One of the rotation model's key advantages is that it allows students to enjoy distinct learning experiences within each rotation. This doesn't simply break up their classroom time from their other learning as a change for change's sake, but allows students the chance to switch between collaborative learning to more independent modes of study. Some educationalists argue that this engages students more, and it is because it allows them to work at their own pace. It can help with improved learning outcomes compared to students who only follow one approach. So, individualized approach for tailored educational programs, then flexibility in terms of pace and mode of learning enables personalized learning experiences also, and it improves higher engagement rates. In addition, the individualized approach that is favored in the model helps teachers to tailor their educational programs to meet particular needs. Although classroom teaching may necessarily be delivered to larger groups, the only online elements can and should be customized. This means that high flyers can be stretched without losing the attention of the class during face-to-face teaching sessions. Equally, students who have fallen behind can often catch up if their teacher takes appropriate steps with their choice of online educational modules. So these are the benefits of the rotation model. And after this explanation, we can conclude rotation model as it involves students rotating between different learning modalities on a fixed schedule, including online learning, small group instruction, and pencil paper assignments. Also, several variants of the rotation model include station rotation, lab rotation, flipped classroom, and individual rotation. The rotation model offers flexibility in terms of pace and mode of learning, personalized learning experience for each student, technology integration, and full-time engagement of the learner through that it enhances the overall learning experience of each learner. Rotation models promote students' autonomy, collaboration, and critical thinking skills, which are essential in today's educational landscape. In this slide, these are the references I have taken for this PPT presentation. And thank you for listening. Thank you for your time. Thank you once again.